Hello class, welcome to lesson 8 in module 4 where we're going to be talking about distributing expressions and using the distributive property. So let's go ahead and this is the top portion of the notes if you want to go ahead and pause it and copy. And below that we have the bottom portion of our notes. You want to pause that and copy. So like we said a moment ago, today's lesson is going to be about the distributive property and how we execute that distributive property. And hopefully this sounds familiar because we've actually touched on the distributive property a number of times in class with short mini lessons. But today's lesson is fully devoted to the distributive property. So the question we hope to answer is, how do I execute and understand the distributive property? If you remember from a few lessons ago, the word property just means a set of rules or patterns or standards that we use to solve math problems. So in order to execute the distributive property, this is what we do. We multiply the number outside the parentheses separately to each of the values inside the parentheses. Okay, so our example that we're going to be looking at here is this. 2 times 4a, 2 times 4a plus 3b plus 5c. So we take our number that's on the outside of the parentheses and we multiply it separately by each value inside the parentheses. We've demonstrated that down here. So the 2 will be multiplied to the 4a, and we see that here, 2 times 4a. Then the 2 will also be multiplied to the 3b. We see that here, 2 times 3b. And lastly, the 2 will be multiplied to the 5c. And we see that demonstrated here, 2 times 5c. And then we just bring down whatever sign is in between. We got a plus sign here, so we put a plus underneath, plus sign here, plus underneath. And then we just solve these multiplication problems. 2 times 4a is 8a, 2 times 3b is 6b, and 2 times 5c is 10c. So, in order to distribute this expression above, again, 2 times 4a plus 3b plus 5c equals 8a plus 6b plus 10c. All right, we just take whatever's on the outside of the parentheses, multiply it by each value inside the parentheses. Now, we'll practice that a lot more in class, and I know it's not the first time you've heard that, so hopefully we sort of get the picture there, but I really want us to get the picture here by picturing it in a model. So the example we're going to look at, the expression is going to be this. 3 times 2a plus b. And what this really means, if you were to think about it, what multiplication means in the first place, is that 3 times 2a plus b really means that there are 3 groups of 2a plus b. So 2a plus b is its own thing. There are just, oops, it's kind of an ugly 3, but there are just 3 of them. Okay, so what we're doing here is that we are going to model the 2a plus b in 3 groups. So we've got 2a plus b in a bar diagram or a tape diagram. Looks like this. So here's one group. Same thing, 2a plus b. Here's another group. And 2a plus b, another group. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3 groups of 2a plus b. Okay. Now, once we've put it into tape diagram or like a bar diagram that we've done, we can now manipulate the models that we've created. So here in black, I'm going to go ahead and outline the 2a's. So we have one group of 2a, another group of 2a, and another group of 2a's. So there are 3 of these. There's 1, 2, 3 groups of 2A's. And in blue, I'm going to go ahead and outline the B's. We've got 1 group of B, 2 groups of B, and 3 groups of B. So we've got 1, 2, 3 groups of that as well. And instead of having them be all separate, what we can do, that you see here in this next bullet, is that we can regroup the model by putting the like boxes together. So we can put all of the 2A's together. So there's 1, 2, 3. Let's put those together. We've got 2A, 2A, 2A. And then we can put our B's together. 1 group of B, 2 groups of B, 3 groups of B. Let's put our B's together. We've got 1, 2, 3 groups of that. Okay, so if we take 2A, combine it with 2A and 2A, 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6, so we have 6A. And then if we have 3 groups of B, we've got 1B, 2B, and 3B. We put all those together, we end up with 3B. So what we know here is that when we start with this expression, 3 times 2A plus B, that was our original expression, we can simplify this into 6A plus 3B, which is what we were left with down here. 6 groups of A, 3 groups of B, 6A plus 3B. Anyway, hope that makes a little bit of sense to you, and now that we've gone through our lesson, I hope that we can answer this question. How do I execute and understand the distributive property? Thank you very much. Goodbye.